What is up, team? Welcome back. August, and we get to watch St. John's basketball. How lucky are we? Huh? How lucky are we to see our favorite team struggle, almost lose to the Dominican U22 national team in their home, maybe not their home court, but, in their home country. How lucky are we to be here on a Friday, almost sweating a loss? Think about it like that. Instead of being upset with how they played in the first half, we could have not been watching any St. John's games at all. It's all about perspective. And I, for one, was enjoying each and every minute of that. On a Friday in the summer, I passed up barbecue plans to go watch St. John's play a scrimmage. That's the type of fan I am, and that's the type of fan you guys are. We are addicted to the red and the white. All right, I know I certainly am. And it was good to see the team rally and to come up with a victory, to fight back, like I said, in a pretty tough environment. I'm sure most of the crowd there was pulling for the home team. First time playing together, 3 new starters, and of course there were some struggles, but they pulled it out and they made some tough plays at the end. Obviously didn't finish 100% strong. Looked like they could have closed it out a little bit easier once they got the lead, but they did make some free throws, Soriano especially, to seal the deal and to pull out a victory in a close game, which was something this team really struggled with last year. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think I saw recently the last 10 games of the year, they were 0-4 in games decided less than 5 points. Don't quote me on that. We all know whatever the exact numbers were, we were struggling to pull out games that were going down to the last possessions. And today we pulled one out. A 2-point victory, 89-87. We were down 14 points. I'm sorry, we were down 12. We outscored them 14 points over the last 15 minutes of the game. So finished strong, got to win. Let's talk about some of the players. Obviously, Posh Alexander, our captain, our leader. He led the way offensively, hit 5 3-pointers, did some other things well. That stroke looked good. He looked comfortable shooting it. I will, warn guys, he did make 5 threes the first game last year. All right, so this doesn't mean that he's all of a sudden a, lights out, knockdown shooter. Hopefully what it means is he's closer to being capable of being a, 35-ish% 3-point shooter, someone that has to be guarded, someone who's, able to make 1 or 2 threes a game on a consistent basis. We're really going to need that off the ball this year. How many points did he finish with? Let's see. Yeah, 21 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, I think 2 steals if I'm understanding this Spanish box score correctly. But he played the most minutes of anybody, 33 minutes, which is a lot of minutes, or actually 35 minutes, which is a lot of minutes considering everybody played. We didn't have Dylan today, Dylan Wusu. I'm not sure what happened. I heard rumors that the jersey wouldn't fit him. But hopefully we get to see him at some point during this trip because he's going to be a key cog. And in his absence, or maybe not even in his absence, but Storr got the start today. AJ Storr, the freshman. He started alongside Curbelo, Posh, Jones, and Soriano. It was a little bit, his minutes were a little bit weird. I thought Storr, he started the game, didn't come back in the second quarter, didn't start the game in the third quarter, finally got back in the game. And while he was in the game, in that third quarter stretch, he played pretty well. He had a really nice drive and finish on the baseline. He had a 2-dribble finish from the opposite free throw line, right down the middle of the court, like a bolt of lightning, finish with his left hand. Great finish. I will say he is one of those unique players who drives almost exclusively to his offhand. And I mean, he shoots right, so maybe I don't know if I can call it his offhand because he's more comfortable driving to his left, but almost exclusively drives to his left. And I know you're probably saying, hey, Pat, it's 10 minutes in an exhibition game, his first game in his college career. I'm telling you, I've put in the time scouting this kid, seeing as much tape as I can, watching as much film, not just his individual highlight tapes, and you could take it to the bank. You know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing to be able to drive left because it catches guys off guard, but it is almost exclusively left. I was the same way playing. Right-handed player who always felt more comfortable driving left, but mark this down at the end of the year. You look back and you see what I said game one. He is a heavy left driver. And he looked comfortable doing it. That one drive on the baseline was a comfortable finish up the court from dead center on those 2 dribbles. Like I said, was a real showcase of his athleticism and a really solid finish. He had a nice steal to follow that, a pass up ahead to Posh, and Posh made I thought, which was a poor decision, trying to make a fancy play, dropping it off for someone behind him, and the Dominican Republic team ended up getting a steal. But for the most part, I thought Storr played well for the limited minutes he got, and I want to see more of him. Curbelo, positives I'll start with, played really good on-ball defense, had a couple really nice passes, thread the needle on one pass on a fast break to Mathis, had a nice alley-oop dish to Soriano early, but other than that, he kind of struggled. You know, a few turnovers late in game, tried to force a shot late in the third quarter. He did hit a free throw that helped seal the game late. A pretty nice drive in one of the final possessions. The clock was hard to follow. I never made any sense to the whistles or the horns I was hearing. On that one drive in the last minute, we had possession in the lead, and he ended up driving to the basket, and he didn't get fouled, but his miss was corralled by, I think, Soriano, who went to the free throw line. I thought Curbelo did get fouled, didn't get the whistle. I couldn't tell how much time was left and what the discrepancy was between the shot clock and the game clock to really say for certain whether it was a good decision to drive there. I thought it was a pretty good look. But I think he's got to get more comfortable. He's got to take a little more ownership as the season goes on, feel his way with the team and the guys. But the talent's there. We've seen it as his freshman year at Illinois. We saw it in flashes last year. You saw it in high school. The talent's there. Hopefully this is the right system for him to flourish in. Jones did some good things. You can tell he loves attacking the basket. And when he is attacking the basket on rip-throughs, it looks like he's comfortable doing so. I think when he starts to play with it out front, looks to be the primary ball handler and pick and rolls, he's a little bit sloppy dribbling the ball in the front court, in the open court. But when he catches, rips through strong, 1 or 2 dribbles, attacking the basket, he looks comfortable. He had a really nice drive on the left baseline, finished with the right hand. He had a nice drive from the left corner to the middle of the paint, drop off to Soriano for a dunk. That might have been our first basket of the game. He does have some decent passing instincts when he's attacking, so that's good. He's not really the same type of scorer that Champagne is in terms of the style of, in terms of the way they get their baskets, but I think he's capable of filling that scoring void. I think he only had 12 points today, 3 for 10 from the field, but he will be a guy who, as he gets more comfortable, will probably be our primary scorer, I think. Soriano, I shouldn't have got to him last in terms of the starters. He probably had the biggest impact of anybody overall. Second half especially, I thought he brought everything together. First half, he was a big-time scoring presence, but defensively he was getting exploited. They were taking him out in pick and rolls, attacking him, hitting jump shots, and when he's doing that, not only is he getting exploited by people going by him, but he's also not in position to rebound. Second half, as a coaching adjustment, we stopped switching as much, stopped being as aggressive with our bigs on the perimeter defensively, and that worked. We also saw some 2 big lineups, which I thought played serious benefits in terms of coming back late in the fourth quarter. But Soriano was huge, scoring around the basket. He finished with 23 points, 15 rebounds. He was a +3 overall in his plus-minus, and showed some new tricks. I thought he had that one drive and finish with a one-handed dunk. I'm not sure that's a play he made last year. He was patient, waited for the defense to kind of rotate, and then he attacked quickly and finished strong. He's a big body. He's capable of setting screens, and if he's able to stay out of foul trouble, stay healthy, and I think importantly, if we can design our defense to limit the amount of times where he's exploited on the perimeter, he should be able to play 25 minutes a game. Close there too, 24, 25 minutes a game, and be a big-time offensive presence. Bigs off the bench, both NY and Stanley. My man Omar had big-time games. They were efficient in their minutes. Pretty sure they only missed 1 shot between them. NY was 3 for 3, and Omar was 4 for 5. So they were 7 for 8 combined between the two of them. Really efficient, really aggressive. Both kind of know their role and don't do too much out of what they're asked to do. And if we can get that type of production, obviously you're not going to have that high of shooting percentage throughout the season. But take good shots, be aggressive, set screens, be energy spark plugs. You know, in games when Soriano might not be feeling it or if he's in foul trouble, have those guys come in. When we want to have two bigs on the court, change the way we play, or maybe adapt to how the other teams are playing, we have that option. I like them both a lot. I think Stanley looked like he put on some good weight. He looked a little more sturdy out there. He was aggressive. I think we were down 7 points when he came in the fourth quarter, and when he left, we were up 1 or 2. So a big time impact. Obviously, he had that and-one finish. The play before that, Soriano had a nice high-low pass to him where Stanley wasn't able to convert the and-one, but he stuck with it, finished on the rebound. Stanley had a couple steals, was in on a bunch of plays. NY had a couple offensive rebounds and some putbacks. Some small but big plays by both those guys throughout the game. Mathis had a couple, scores on the break, scores on the baseline. It's kind of what you expect from him. He also had a couple plays where I thought he tried to do too much, drove into some traffic, missed a couple kick-out opportunities. One time Posh was upset he missed him in the corner for an open look. But he plays good defense. He hustles his ass off. He's not the shooting threat that we want next to Posh and Curbelo, but Mike Anderson loves the way he plays. I hope, as the season progresses, as Storr gets more comfortable, he can be that shooting threat on the wing. Obviously, Wusu showed last year he can be a good scoring option, good shooting option on the wing. He's going to get minutes. So it'll be really interesting to see how that battle between Storr, Mathis, Wusu, and Pinzon plays out at that 2-3 wing position. And King looks like he's going to be in the fold for some minutes as well. Pinzon didn't do too much out there. I thought he had a couple nice plays that didn't, the ending wasn't exactly, the best result. He had one dribble pull-up where the shot just went in and out. Thought it was a good move. He was aggressive attacking the offensive glass. He was also on the court in the third quarter when we originally took the lead back from the Dominican Republic on a good little run. He was making some decent plays on some good defensive sets too. He was on the court when we forced that shot clock violation. He also was on the court for a couple of turnovers forced, but he didn't look too comfortable finding the basket. Getting some points out there. And those four guys who I mentioned, it's gonna have to be some scoring from that 3 spot and from that 2 spot. So if Pinzon wants to be a fixture in the rotation, he's gonna have to find a way to score some points, and that goes the same for Mathis, in my opinion. But we'll see. Who else? I don't know. Traore didn't get in. Wusu didn't play. Kobe King, like I said, he had some bright moments. He had a really nice finish off a Stanley pass. He made a couple defensive plays. He did have a couple unforced turnovers. I thought Posh missed him on a lead ahead pass that would have sealed the game off. Instead, Posh kept it. We tried to run a quick play, and I think when he finally did get to King forced it and had a inopportune turnover right there. But for the most part, I think you like what you saw from him. He played a bunch of minutes, over 17 minutes for his first outing, so he got to get his feet wet. He was 1 for 5 from the field, only 2 points, but he looked confident out there. But this is just a learning experience for everybody, for the coaches, for the players, and this is just a head start. Gets us more ready than not having these 10 practices in 3 games would. So obviously you're happy to get the win, but I think there's benefits that can come from struggling. I'd like to go 3-0, but I don't think it would be beneficial to go 3-0 and have 3 30-point wins. And obviously today we were almost, we saw how easily we could have slipped up and had a loss against a quality team. But learn from these, get better, give us something to look forward to, stay healthy, and hopefully each step along the way we can see another wrinkle or see another glimmer of hope as to why this could be the year where St. John's finally turns the page and gets back in the NCAA tournament, back amongst the Big East hierarchy, and hopefully we can get to freaking a semifinal game in the Big East Conference tournament. But anyway, guys, this has been Pat Kane, the Red Storm Rapid Reaction Podcast from Marcusette, and I want to thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you Sunday. Peace.